On the day of the biggest race of his life, race car driver Ethan faces more than just a fierce competitor on the track. The true challenge lies in his heart, where the stakes of life and love collide, threatening everything he's worked for. As the roar of engines fills the air, Ethan's mind is torn between the race for victory and a heart-wrenching personal struggle. The only one who truly understands him is Zephyr, his loyal dog. While the crowd cheers and the race cars zoom past, Zephyr sees beyond the track. He knows the weight Ethan carries, the silent battles he fights. As the tension rises, Ethan must decide, will he win the race, or will he face the deeper struggles within? The true test of courage isn't on the track. It's in confronting what really matters. But what happens when the stakes of life and love collide on the tracks? Meet Ethan, a race car driver whose precision on the track has earned him respect. But what the world doesn't see is his greatest asset. His partner in life, Zephyr. A loyal German shepherd, Zephyr isn't just a dog. He's Ethan's confidant, his silent coach, and his emotional anchor. Through every race, every win, and every heartbreaking loss, Zephyr has been by his side, understanding Ethan's every move, every fear, and every victory with a bond deeper than anyone could imagine. They've trained together, pushed each other to the limit, and when life throws its curveballs, Zephyr's steady presence is all Ethan needs to keep going. As the Grand Prix looms, the city is electric with anticipation. This race isn't just another competition. It's the one that could make or break Ethan's future. The adrenaline-fueled track awaits, but off the track, Ethan faces a battle of his own. Estranged from Lena, his fiancé, a misunderstanding has torn apart the one relationship that once meant everything to him. This race is about more than just winning. It's about finding redemption. Not just on the track, but in his personal life. Standing at the starting line, Ethan's heart is torn. The roar of the engines is loud, but inside, it's the quiet realization that winning this race won't fix everything. But it's a start. And with Zephyr by his side, maybe, just maybe, Ethan can finally fix the most important race of his life. The one that's happening inside him. As the Grand Prix roars to life, Ethan's focus is shattered. The deafening sound of the engines, the screeching of tires, the overwhelming pressure to win, all of it is closing in on him. The other drivers push him to the limit, but something is different today. His mind isn't fully on the track. The race inside him, the battle for redemption, is louder than anything else. Sitting in the pit crew, Zephyr remains calm, steady as ever. The dog's presence is a silent reminder to Ethan. Stay focused. But even the loyal companion can't stop the emotional weight from crushing Ethan's spirit. Regrets about Lena flood his mind, the longing for reconciliation pulling his thoughts away from the speed of the track. In a flashback, we're taken back to when Ethan and Lena's love was once perfect, like a flawless lap in a race. They moved together, side by side, always in sync. But a moment of misunderstanding, an argument they couldn't resolve, fractured everything. Lena is now far away, and Ethan can't help but wonder if his obsession with racing, with winning, cost him the most important thing in his life, her. The race heats up, but Zephyr, ever watchful, knows something Ethan can't see. The real race is not on the track. It's in his heart. As Ethan speeds through the final laps, the weight of his personal battle grows heavier. But Zephyr's calming presence in the pit crew brings him back to the moment when he's on the verge of crashing. A brief pause, a deep breath, and Ethan regains his focus, narrowly avoiding disaster. The dog's instinctive support helps Ethan push forward, but the questions linger. Is it too late to fix his life? Can a race car driver ever truly come to terms with his mistakes off the track? As the roar of the engines drowns out the world around him, Ethan knows this race may be his chance to redeem more than just his career. It's his shot at fixing everything he's lost. As the final lap approaches, Ethan is in a battle for first place, neck and neck with the lead car. The track is a blur, the speed exhilarating, but something deep inside him tells him, it's not just the race anymore. The decision he faces isn't about winning. It's about what he's willing to sacrifice to get there. In that moment, Zephyr, who's always stayed on the sidelines, surprises Ethan. The dog jumps onto the track, his paws pounding against the asphalt as he runs in front of Ethan's speeding car. A gasp of shock ripples through the crowd as Ethan's heart skips a beat. This is unlike anything Zephyr has ever done. His instincts are clear. Ethan, it's time to stop. Look beyond the race. For a split second, everything stands still. Ethan's car, roaring down the track, suddenly feels like it's moving in slow motion. Zephyr's presence forces a revelation within Ethan's heart. This race isn't about winning. It's about confronting his past. It's about fixing what's broken. His relationship with Lena and the realization that his true victory lies in vulnerability, not the checkered flag. With the finish line ahead, Ethan takes a deep breath. He slows down, the car's engine roaring less loudly now. The crowd watches in disbelief as Ethan lets the other driver pass him, choosing a different path. He raises his hand, not to signal a win, but to acknowledge the end of this race. The real race, the one that involves fixing his relationship with Lena, seeking forgiveness, and embracing what truly matters, is just beginning. As Ethan crosses the line, the victory is in his heart. The next step is waiting. Picking up the phone and calling Lena, ready to put his heart back on the line, ready to face the consequences of his choices. This race might be over, but his journey towards healing and redemption is just starting. As Ethan crosses the finish line, the roar of the crowd fills the air, but for Ethan, it's nothing more than a distant hum. He didn't win the race, but in this very moment, he wins something far more valuable, his peace. The adrenaline of the race, the weight of the competition, and the rush of the track fade into the background. What remains is the quiet realization that he's just overcome something much bigger than the battle on the track. While the world cheers and celebrates, Ethan's focus shifts inward. Zephyr, his loyal companion, comes bounding toward him, his paws thumping against the ground like the heartbeat of the man he stood by through it all. As the dog reaches him, the two share a wordless moment. No crowd, no noise, just the bond between them, unshakable and pure. Zephyr doesn't need to say a thing. He's been with Ethan through every race, every struggle, and today, he's the symbol of what really matters: unwavering loyalty and unconditional love. Ethan's heart feels lighter as he pulls out his phone. The moment that has been looming over him, the call to Lena, is now in his hands. There's no hesitation this time. No running away from the confrontation he's been avoiding for so long. This time, he's ready to listen, ready to hear Lena's side, to admit his mistakes, and to face the consequences of his past decisions. It won't be easy, he knows that. There's a long road ahead to rebuild what was lost, but for the first time in a long time, Ethan isn't running from the truth. He's facing it head-on, knowing that he's done more than win a race. He's taken the first step toward mending his heart. The phone rings, and in that brief moment of silence, Ethan reflects on how far he's come. This race was never just about crossing the finish line. It was about understanding that he couldn't keep running from what mattered most. He couldn't keep racing away from the love he lost, the relationship that slipped through his fingers because of his obsession with winning. But today, he finally learned what it means to slow down and face the things that truly matter. As the phone call begins, the story closes on a note of hope. Ethan's not just a race car driver anymore. He's no longer defined by the trophies or the roar of engines. He's a man who's learned that the most valuable victories are the ones you can't measure on a scoreboard: love, loyalty, and the courage to look inward and rebuild what's broken. And with Zephyr by his side, he's finally ready for whatever comes next, knowing that this time, he'll face it all with an open heart. As Ethan crosses the finish line, the crowd erupts in applause, but for Ethan, everything falls silent. He didn't win the race, but he won something far more precious: his peace. Zephyr, his loyal companion, runs up to him, and the two share a moment that says more than words ever could. It's a bond built on years of loyalty, love, and shared struggles. Zephyr is more than just a dog. He's Ethan's anchor, his constant reminder of what truly matters. And as Ethan pulls out his phone to make that call, to take the first step toward healing with Lena, He knows that the real race is just beginning. This journey isn't about speed or victories on the track. It's about facing the truth, seeking forgiveness, and rebuilding what's been lost. With Zephyr by his side, Ethan's ready to face whatever comes next. If you've enjoyed this emotional ride with Ethan and Zephyr, don't forget to hit that like button to show your support. And if you want to join us for more heartwarming and thrilling stories like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on the next adventure. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the greatest victories are the ones we win off the track. See you next time.